some organizer from the community asked me if I wanted to show out my game. I was a little bit hesitant because I didn't have any marketing materials prepared and so
Yeah.
on. What do I need for that? I haven't done this before, but it was pretty easy. Just bring the laptop, gamepad, maybe some small decoration stuff, those little cards, business cards, and just show your game. So yeah, it's worked out. I helped building up some stuff a day before, and showed my game, and it went really good. Lots of people like playing it, mostly, but not exclusively, like children and teenagers, where their parents' patience was tested. Yeah, it was a great experience. It was because it was the first time ever showing my game live to people, not just online, but like in person. You see like the smiles, the feedback, what's good, what's not good, what's happening as what's going as intended and what's not going as intended. Since this was like a live testing, and the demo prototype isn't even ready yet to show like on Steam and so on. So it was the first time, and it was awesome.
Did you ever check out Candyland by chance? Did you ever check that out?
The board game, you mean?
The board game Candyland. Did you ever check that thing out?
I researched it a bit. I didn't play it or so, but I
right.
out the like the cover, and I saw some interesting inspiration for biomes. For example, the candy cane snow biome. So I'm imagining like candy cane for trees and snow being sugar powder. It's maybe difficult to separate in the 3D artistic style, but it could work. Like you have snow, but it's not snow, but sugar, like white sugar.
Yeah.
And so this could work. And then candy themed enemies, weapons, whatever.
I just thought it was so interesting that you had never heard of it when we first talked about it. I was like, that's so crazy, because when I saw your game, I was like, oh my God, it's like a shooter Candyland. And Candyland, it was a board game when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And so like, that's why it was like,
it's probably really more funny. Like a US thing, or maybe regional as well. I still didn't look it up where it's mostly played, but even in the board game communities here in my town, they're more like serious board games or that,
like playing Risk or
Dungeons and Dragons stuff, so I think maybe I don't also know if it's still up to date. So maybe do people still play it, this Candyland game?
Kids. I mean, my kid, my 7 today, but my 7-year-old, she loved it when she would make us play it all the time. She didn't know she would play horrendously, but she loved just the candy and the aspect. It's definitely for kids. It's like 3-4-year-olds and stuff like that, because it's candy. I mean, what do kids fantasize about?
Well, I noticed too at the event. So mostly kids, not super young, like 11, 12 to teenagers, and then some grown-ups like me who thought the idea was kind of crazy and interesting, where you can have like candy themed weapons. Like next thing I want to add is like a licorice whip to push back enemies or throw stuff at them.
I was actually just about to ask you that too. I'm like, do you have plans for like some really eccentric candy themed weapons? There's a game out there that I really it's really cool. It's called Forgive My Father or something like that. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's an indie, it's a relatively big indie game, but they have such crazy eccentric like reloading, and their guns are so out there, like their weapons or whatever is so absolutely out there. I'll have to send you an image of it. But I was just like, I feel like such a cool pool of like weapons that you can kind of create in the candy theme. Do you have kind of like a little bit of concept ideas of like, because right now all we kind of see is the candy revolver in a lot of your footages. And so like, do you have kind of like a list of like things? Okay, cool. I'm going to make this gun. I want to make this gun that is in this theme of that. Like you just said with the licorice whip, like, you have anything else planned like that?
Yeah. So since it's a prototype and I have lots of other tasks to do, it's like the weapon as is, the revolver, and I plan to add more stuff over time. But first, I'll focus more on AI and finishing the game loop. And the
Right.
weapons I plan, like one, the Licorice Whip is a melee weapon, or maybe a little bit mid-range where you can upgrade it, pick up small enemies or small items, throw it at them, like physics-based, since there's also like a major part where you can or must deal damage or interact with the combat physically, where everything's wobbly and bouncy. And another weapon idea I have is like a gumball machine or submachine gun, where you have like a gumball container, you know,
cool.
this glass things where you turn the coins and the gumball come out. And this will be like the magazine container, and you shoot and you see like it empties out and you have to reload the new container. So that one. Another one is like a cookie disc ejector, or maybe a cookie crossbow, where you have a candy themed crossbow and you sling cookies like a sharp disc at enemies. More of
It reminds me kind of like original like Unreal Tournament and stuff like that, how they had those really eccentric type of projectile-esque weapons. Like they'd have like, you know, like the same thing, they'd have like a disc thrower, they'd have like a grenade launcher, but everything was kind of wacky. They had a rocket launcher, all these weird weapons, and making them in a candy theme, it just seems like the concepts can really run amok. Like you could really start getting out there with some wild concepts that could be really fun. So I was looking at some of your enemies. So you have a gummy bear, you have so it's just like how do I put this? Like what's kind of the again, not really story, but yeah, guys, so kind of give me a little bit of the story. Like, who are you and what are you doing in this candy world?
The story part is not quite figured out yet, since I'm not a great storyteller guy. So I wanted to focus at first more on the gameplay and fun part and something new, wacky, crazy. But I had some ideas, like there's this castle and an evil candy king who forces you to do things. I switched to another approach, since this would be a bit too dark, or would have been another theme. I'm also debating if it shouldn't be the final goal where the main boss resides and you end the run. Shouldn't be like a candy castle, but more of a candy factory, leading a reference to like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and you maybe want to stop it because it's evil and exploiting or the whole candy world, and they follow it blindly. But to be honest, there's nothing. There's just some random ideas I want to put together, but there's no real storyline yet, as this is not a linear game. This is like a roguelike. You start your run in a randomly stitched world. It's not procedurally generated, but randomly stitched together, like Spelunky. You had like small chunks that are handmade and handcrafted, and then stitched together, and you always try to go to the final destination, which is like a candy castle or candy factory, where we can then expand the lore upon. And if you die on the way, all your upgrades and progress is lost. So those are the story hints, but there's nothing concrete right now. I'm still working on the prototype, that it's fun, and that goal was achieved. I think I saw it being played, and it looked like people had fun. So
That's cool.
it's still on the to-do list, but I think something with a factory as a reference could be fun, could work out. Maybe some deep lore you don't have to know, but you can search around and have some like conspiracy theories or so.
Are you thinking about any like multiplayer aspects at all, or?
I was asked it also a couple of times, and I think it could work in a fast-paced mode, like Tribes, I think, where you kind of float through the environment and shoot each other. I also work on an upgrade perk where you can slide through the hills, and this mix really
Very Tribes-like.
yeah, it's kind of like surfing or not skateboarding, but you are slippery and you can have momentum and
Mhm.
um, glide across the map. So it could be fun on the uh, multiplayer mode. It's not the top priority right now. Maybe it will shift. So my next step right now is looking for publishers or finishing my pitch deck to find a publisher or reach out to a publisher since two of them were interested in the game and wanted to have like the pitch deck and see what we can do from there. So that was also a great sign. Hopefully that works. And if if I get to talks and negotiations, maybe the focus will shift a bit. Maybe roguelike doesn't work that good. Maybe multiplayer is the way to go. So that might be something. Otherwise, I would plan it as a version 2 thing. Like first finish the roguelike part, the demo, the prototype, the testing, and if everything's well, I've got the budget, the time, I add multiplayer because it does make sense. What
Of
also
course.
what could work is like a cozy mode where you don't have combat at all. You just walk around and explore the candy world and do something
Mm.
else. Because it fits well in the cozy setting, and there's like a whole genre for cozy games,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, it could work as well. So I think the aesthetic is like a good baseline. This candy world, it can branch out to different genres. Um, yeah,
Mhm. And is this is your first, this is your first game you've made, or you what have you worked on before,
I have
Rogue?
something. I did something part-time, something completely different. It's like a
Mm,
short snowman horror game. It's more grimy and
mhm.
dark and slower paced, where you collect things. So didn't have a great story. That's why I say I'm not a great storyteller. Or maybe it was like too much at the same time on a
Yeah.
weekend basis, I say. So I have released something on Steam and Epic Store, or one game on Steam and Epic Store. But
Okay.
this is my second official game, a bit bigger, complete focus, aesthetic, genre shift. But yeah, I want to try out if that works better, if
Yeah.
that's what I can do better also.
Well, you made all the models, I'm assuming, right, on this?
Like, I think about 70% I made on my own, and the other parts are either made by a freelancer or purchased from the store, like the lollipops and so on, which are looking
Oh,
generic,
okay.
fitting the generic, well, which is fine if they look generic, so I can put some lollies and some small candy stuff. And for custom stuff like the weapon or enemies, I do them myself then, or by a freelancer specifically for the project. For example, the shopkeep donut is
Yeah.
by a friend of mine who is good at modeling and texturing.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's what he did. And I think it was great. I started with sketches, drawing stuff on the piece of paper and did some documentation, what I expected, or some hints, what it should look like, coloring, stuff like that. And yeah, worked out fine.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that definitely caught me first when I was, like, looking at it. I was like, "Oh, man, I mean, a lot of model like, there's a lot of, unique models in this, and it's obviously, everything's very, like, you use a lot of, like, primitive objects, obviously, in a lot of
Yeah.
things. But obviously, there's a lot of things in there that I was like, "Oh, the textures look really cool." I love the colors, the saturations, like, the lighting, everything actually, like, clearly there was a lot of time and care put into how these things all kind of work together, and I thought it was really interesting on on how you did that. And like, so when you were kind of like starting to build this, because you could really go, you could almost go too far. Like one of the things the in the States we'll call it like during Christmas time, we'll call it like, somebody threw up Christmas on their lawn, and it's just like Christmas everywhere. It's too much, it's over the top. He's just like, this is, I can't handle this. But I don't get that feeling when I look at your world, when it could very easily be candy vomit, like just too much everywhere all the time. But it actually, like, it feels like everything kind of fits together, and the saturation and the colors worked really good. Like, how did you kind of navigate that being like, okay, is it too much or is it just enough? Like, what was your balance look like?
Yeah, it was a lot of testing and iteration. So at first I had too bright colors. It was it kind of hurt the eyes.
Yeah.
It was too much. Then I changed the saturation. Then it looked maybe too swampy. I posted, I think, like 2 videos on Reddit, and I got the feedback, and also once from a friend. And then I iterated over it and made it better and better and better. And then I think now the coloring and saturation looks good as is, or I can
Mhm.
work with this setup now, but it wasn't perfect the first time, right? And still, the clouds are taking lots of space
Mm.
from this of the screen, and it was even worse before. They look nice and give a add to the atmosphere, but they can take away your focus from like vertical landmarks where you need to go. And it still is a bit of an issue. So it was worse. They were lower and more scattered, looked nice, but they took too much attention. And
Mhm.
now they still take attention, but not as much. So it's improving, but still not perfect as far as navigation goes. And the shop also, what I noticed on the event where people played the game is that they are easily distracted, like cats, easily distracted by the next wobbly
Yes.
enemy, and they go from small fight to small fight to small fight and collect the donuts, which is the currency in the game. But they
Mhm.
never visit any shops or perk stations because they are so distracted by those small creatures, and
Mhm.
their perk stations, landmarks, and shops blend in too much with the environment. So this is a current issue that still persists. But as far as the environment itself goes and the coloring, that's I think that's now at a stage which can be maintained, or which I can continue with. So lots of iterations, still not perfect, but I mean that's generally game development, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point. I mean, like one of the things I think that was helpful is you just going to this conference and getting more people to like touch the game, to interact with the
Yeah.
game. And so, like before that, before the conference, how was getting people to even like try? Like, what was your play test system you had in a way to try and get people to be like, oh, okay, you interested? Because obviously there's no demo out yet,
Yeah.
but you obviously have been play testing it with getting feedback and things like that. So how has that gone, and how have you been finding people that have just been interested in wanting to try and give you some feedback on playing your game?
Well, there wasn't a huge playtesting thing going on yet. More like devs from the community, friends
Mm.
who are also a bit experienced in like game design and can give some valuable feedback, but it's always a little bit biased. So it's better to have
Yes.
like strangers let it play it. Now I'm at a stage where I will give out tests to like random people, or
Mhm.
I think the point is now where I can do this, or not precisely now. I have to fix these things I noticed from the event, and then I do like open beta testing. But
Mhm.
before that, it was mostly, I say, internal testing, or posting screenshots, videos, gameplay footage on Reddit, where people also notice like issues, coloring this off, and
Mhm.
the bullets blend in too much with the environment, or stuff like that. So it's going in the right direction where like real playtesting starts now.
I'm curious because you mentioned that you're looking for like publishers. Like, how is that process? Like, what's your process look like as far as reaching out to publishers, and what are you looking to uh possibly get from the publishers that you're not necessarily being able to fulfill yourself?
Yeah. So the the search starts kind of now, or started right after the event, since 2
Mm.
publishers, or 3 even, showed interest in the game, and I was in a state where, I was quite sure what the event will offer, will show, because this was like the first real reaction I would get from people.
Right.
So it was positive, and since 2, 3 publishers showed interest, it's now getting on the serious direction. So I am currently working on a pitch deck, looking at other pitch decks from other indie games, trying to find my own style. And then a friendly developer who was my neighbor at the convention sent me a list of publishers, and I will then go on and send my pitch deck and information to those who are fitting. And what I'm searching for is, partly funding the production for the demo and the release, and to grow a small team. Like I would need dedicated 3D artists, animator, and 2D artists, an illustrator. Since I'm more of a coder myself, I can do that pretty good since I have like 8+ years of experience programming, also working with the Unity 3D engine. So that's like a check. And modeling, like a secondary, I can model stuff. And since this game is a little bit simplistic, it's not AAA, high fidelity rocks, castle stuff.
Right.
I can kind of do it on my own and it works. But if someone with full competency in 3D modeling could do it, it would be better. So yeah, this would be a thing. And another part would be marketing, as this is also not my strong suit, like doing nice, texts and video editing, stuff like that. So the exposure marketing part, you also need like a good following, or you need to be really good at that stuff. So marketing, production funding to build a team. Later on, porting, localization. That's the thing I would be searching for. And then depending what deal gets out of it. So we're quite certain what the best conditions are, but that's for later. The first challenge is to get a publisher excited with the pitch deck and with the project itself, and to get like in these negotiation area.
Yeah. It's tough, man. I mean, when you're sitting here like, starting to build something, it's just like you start to, like I was just telling somebody, or I just did an episode, I don't remember exactly when I was ready, but we were building our game, and then we realized, we're like, holy crap, we don't have any sound in our game. And so like we literally had to like not really scramble's not the right word, but we had to like we basically have somebody doing like our music, and we're like, oh god, can you make sound and music and stuff like that, because we had a bunch of like generic stuff in there for clicks and noises or things like that or whatever, but it was like such a huge miss that we didn't realize. And it's like when you're going and making a solo game, we're lucky we have a team of like 5, and we have almost everything covered in a way, almost everything, but we have a lot of things that you need to do to build a game. We have a lot of those types of roles covered in a lot of ways. But one of the things that we were missing was sound, and we're just like, oh god, we didn't even think about that. But it just goes to show you, it's like there's so many things with building a video game that you don't realize how much you need, and it's just one of those things that's just, I think, is so crazy that a lot of people don't realize when you're first starting out, is or being a solo dev, is just like, oh my god, you could be a great coder, a great modeler, but then it's like, okay, well, what about sound, what about marketing, what about what about visual effects, what about the composition, what about, there's so many things that play into it that you just, man,
it's crazy,
it's overwhelming at times, for sure.
Sound, I forgot that part. So I can do sound mixing, but music definitely has to be done also from someone else. My previous game, I hired a composer for that. I think he found me for a previous project I made, and then I asked him, and he did the music for Snowman, my previous title, and the sound mixing stuff was done by me. But yeah, it's, no one can do everything. So maybe you have like a perfect skill area, and then a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you cannot fill every gap. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. So you said something that this is being, my first glance, I thought it was Unreal. Is this being built in Unity 3D though?
Yeah.
Wow. It looks like Unreal to me, like so I'm not sure exactly why it looks like Unreal. Maybe just like the way that you were able to kind of like overexpose things, I feel like Unreal is can feel very overexposed as far as lighting and colors and things like that, especially even on 3D models. So it looks fantastic. So like 3D un, Unity 3D, I'm not familiar with it. We use 2D, but give me a little bit of like why you decided to go with Unity over like something like Unreal, because it kind of feels like if you're gonna go 3D, Unreal feels like the big boy right now. Pants.
Yeah.
So what was your decision on that? Like,
Simply put, the experience. I have like 8 years plus, whatever, how many years in hobby time with Unity 3D, when I think starting from version 4 or 5 something.
oh wow.
So um, yeah, since I know the engine almost inside out, and maybe it's a bit exaggerated, so not every part is known. So, for example, I'm not familiar with the 2D part, because
Mm,
I mostly always work with the 3D part of it, but it's a toolkit I know. So this was the main reason. Initially, I was experimenting with the Godot engine,
mm,
because maybe I wanted to try something out and see how easy it is to get into, and it didn't quite work out because I started experimenting with this jelly soft body physics, and
yeah.
Godot had something, but it didn't quite work as expected, or I didn't have the experience with Godot. So I noticed then, okay, maybe it works, but then I have to learn it for half a year or a year to get like a fraction of the level I have with Unity. So I didn't
Mhm.
want to waste any time. Also, I had like lots of toolkits, assets in previous projects, also my own code stuff. I could just recycle and maybe change a little bit and again save time. So yeah, mm, huge economic value to just stay with the engine. I know it's I would love to learn other engines and work with them, but it's more like of a time budget thing, right? So it's nice to experiment, but yeah, you need to invest and take another risk or an additional risk to learn
Well,
something.
especially when you're trying to get something out, it's like you start at what you start with what you know. You work around with the things you know, and then like for me, it's like whenever I'm like learning something new, you start with a core thing that you're like, okay, I know how to do this one thing or whatever. Well, if I'm gonna build this big thing, well, then I'll start to expand myself outward a little bit beyond that bubble. But especially when you're building something from the ground up, it's like start somewhere comfortable and then expand as you need it. If you're just like, oh, well, I'm going to need, a few 3D models. Okay, well, then take a little bit of 3D modeling if you know how to code or whatever, but
Mm,
just kind of slowly expanding out instead of being like, I'm going to discard everything I know and jump straight into something I completely have no idea. You just, from my experience trying to do something like that, what you end up doing is just being frustrated, overwhelmed, and then end up not doing anything and not even moving forward. It's like, uh, you see a lot of people, also a lot of indie devs, they try and take on these grand, I'm going to make an MMO,
yeah.
massive multiplayer RPG, and you're like, hang on, and for their first game out the box, and I'm gonna build it, it's gonna be the greatest thing, it's gonna have all these features. You're like, hang on a second. Unless you have an unlimited amount of money and a ton of people that are willing to help and build this for you, you might want to kind of rethink that a little bit. You might want to take a little bit of a slower approach, maybe build, if you have this big idea for like a big MMO, maybe take a little tiny portion of the MMO idea that you're like, okay, cool, I want to have this specific type of combat. Okay, well, then just make a game around that one specific type of combat. And then as it grows and builds, then add a little bit more and, kind of ad hoc these things kind of together. And then eventually you're like, okay, cool, I've built a big framework for my thing after several years.
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to take too big of a risk in making something so big and then it just falling on its face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, now I spent 10 years making this game and nobody even wants to play it. Like,
Yeah,
well,
that's why like early showcase playtesting is really important. So maybe not even the store page stuff. It's good when
mm,
that is off, but What's really the best thing is a demo or prototype, and people
Yeah.
like it and want to see more or play more. That's like the best indicator. And if you can get that out as early as possible, and see the feedback, that's the best thing.
Yeah. How has been, other than the event, but like in general, just as the internet goes, how's been like the response as far as what people have seen, feedback, excitement, just the general kind of talk about your game like that you've received? How's that been?
Yeah, the best response I got was on Reddit, because I can share it in communities where there's high
Right.
visibility, and most people are excited and like the potential there. So
Mhm.
of course, small feedback always, like to improve game design parts and mechanics. Um, Oftentimes, some references are mentioned, like Team Fortress 2 had like a candy mode for this pyro guy,
Huh.
and I had that a few times. So kind of like a link, not the board game. Nobody
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah, yeah.
board game. Um, and yeah, just the crazy idea of the world. So also Doom with marmalade. So people see the
That's
fast-paced
funny.
shooting and they see it's Doom with jelly or marmalade. So
I could see that. I
yeah,
actually could kind of see
yeah,
that a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
For that, I got the feedback then to improve the mechanics more, like not just shooting those little pellets at enemies, but have like a combination of things. What Doom does is you have like other newer Doom parts, you have different weapons for different
Mm,
situations and enemies where you have
right.
to switch fast and add like a bit of chess to the shooting. Um, so that's something I will include as well. Yeah, but I think it's okay, not super viral because I'm not at this stage yet where it's I think good enough to become viral if you cannot predict it or maybe towards it. So I think it's doing fine for this stage, for the prototype. I get lots of comments and can interact with the people. I think there's potential. I think that's maybe the
Mm,
best thing you could say. It has potential, or the idea has
mhm.
potential.
Yeah, I think that is a good way to put it. It definitely does have potential, mainly because like I think you picked a really unique I don't know what to call it. I want to say biome, but that's not necessarily right.
Yeah, the
It's the
theme, right? The aesthetic.
the
Because
theme. Yeah, there
yeah,
you go.
if I would make another shooter in the forest, it's like a drop in the ocean, right? So
Mhm.
I think
So
it's
the
a
theme for
risk.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the theme is what basically makes it stand out. And it that what gives it that extra potential, because then people what was someone just say, you take something, I forget who I was talking to, but it doesn't matter. But what they one of the things they said that I thought was really valuable, which is like you take something real in the world and you put it in the game, and it gives that person that comfortability.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When it gives it, it's almost like a, oh, I know what this is, and it's comfortable for me. Where it's not these really abstract, over concepted ideas can kind of, that's why they feel like they can kind of miss. Where if you take something so simple like candy, well, of course, everyone knows what candy is, and when you see it, you're like, "Oh, I see a gummy bear. Gummy bear is jumping around. Oh, I
Mm.
shoot the gummy bear with the candy gun. Oh, it's just like the like it almost like makes you feel comfortable when you see it. And I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what I want to do in that game. And you just have that comfortability. And I thought that was a really good point when concepting a game out. And you kind of, I don't know if you thought about that, but in a way, you stumbled upon that simple esque theme that people can feel comfortable with.
Yeah. 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 I cannot pinpoint the exact origin. I had some references like Wreck-It Ralph and some section of the
Mm,
game Cuphead, where they had like candy
hmm
themed worlds. In Wreck-It Ralph, it was Sugar Rush, a game within it, and it was a whole candy world, but for a racing game. And I think on itch there's a fan-made game of it, and I don't know if it was that or if it was something else. I then researched candy-themed worlds on Pinterest, nice for mood
hmm
boards and references, and saw some really awesome pictures, artworks. not of a
Yeah.
game, not of a movie, but I don't know, for a rendering or maybe even AI generated. I'm not so sure, but they
Mhm.
look like stunning. This whole world, right? So it's, I think it works really well. Like Alice in Wonderland, it has also like this card themed castle. So if you put what you said, something familiar, and just size it up or scale it up
Mm.
and make entities lifelike, it can work. Also, Disney did it with, was it like the Beauty and the Beast, where you had like this talking candle and talking
Yeah.
pot. It's also just stuff from the real world. You give it life, you scale it up, and it's
Mhm.
like this themed world, or maybe a painting themed world.
Mhm.
In Oblivion, there's this quest where you enter a world which is fully painted, and it's like, it's so abstract, but you know it, and maybe you feel comfortable because you maybe secretly wish that it was just this world and you could visit it. It's more like visiting a dream. Maybe this is
Mhm.
also what works. You visit a dream,
Mm.
and explore it. It's I cannot explain why and how, but yeah, it's
Yeah. Now,
maybe.
when doing the gun mechanics, like how, because when I see it, it looks more projectile, not necessarily like hit scan. And
Mm,
like, so what was your thought as far as when you're kind of coming up with that? Because I know there's very, very differing opinions when it comes to shooters. When it comes to, you go more of a projectile style or you go to more of like a hit scan style. Why? What does it feel like when you're shooting the gun? And what was the thought behind of like why you went that direction?
yeah, since I wanted to introduce physics stuff, because yeah, the physics stuff, maybe that's the main point. I did
Mm.
a game before Snowman. I worked on a game where you could build platforms. It was focused more of a building game. You build platforms to get from floating island to floating island, and it was like
Mm.
physics based. And there were enemies like moving trees that would knock it out. And I did a Reddit post once, and it was pretty good. It's even better than the stuff I post from Rogue Candy. Um, and it was mainly because of the physics stuff, and it feels so natural, interactable. So the world has physics, and everything flies around, is chaotic and fun.
Mm.
So I thought, okay, maybe if I can add physics stuff in Rogue Candy, first by adding this wobbly thing for the enemies, and then
Mhm.
also the combat. That's why I went with the projectile and the arcs, and
Got it. Yeah.
yeah, you shoot at them and you have knockback just based on the physics and the speed and mass of the bullet. Um, I do want to add hit scan guns, but then they are more sniper style, right? So
Got it.
where you can aim far, and if you want to hit more precise, you have to upgrade the speed of the bullet. Um, I think it also worked on the event. Some people maybe wish to have a hit scan, but it was also adding to the fun. So
Mm.
maybe I can mix it where it's hit scan and still with knockback, but I think it will reduce this physics interactability and fun a bit, and chaos. I think the chaos factor adds to the fun, or the
Mhm.
unpredictableness of it. So yeah, mainly the physics part.
What kind of games do you like playing? Like, are you a big first person shooter fan? Are you like what's your variety? Because I like for me, I was like, oh, you must like games like RoboQuest and like boom shooters and stuff like that. But what kind of games do you like to play?
Yeah, I do like many different games. First person shooters are a big part of it. So for example, the Doom games. I'm also excited for the next Doom game. It's not fitting in this context, but it's
It could be. You could take a wild direction with it and make go like Candy BioShock or something.
yeah. Yeah, the mechanics could be like copy pasted theoretically, and just with a cute candy factor. That's why I got these comments also. So I do like those games. Also Dusk from David Szymanski. Um,
Okay.
um, also loved it. So I do like this first-person shooter games, and I play them. It's not the only theme. I also enjoy Portal, which is first person, but not a shooter. It's more of a puzzle
Yeah.
style. Other than that, um, mm, yeah, I'm not not the medieval guy. Though I like the Souls-like games, but I usually don't like sword mechanic, especially first person. So that's not my part, not my thing.
Did you ever play Chivalry?
Not yet, but it was wait,
The sequel came out just not too long ago, but yeah, Chivalry, and then
it's
Mordhau, I think, was the other one that came out or something like that.
I think I played it actually on the LAN party. We had like friends and played different games till night and the morning, and that was one well together against like the multiplayer mode is fun then. So it's not something I would play privately, but it's fun in the context, and so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Manager
And
part,
the only
yeah,
Yeah, the only reason because you just said that you don't really play much medieval, but like one of the things I was thinking about was they have crazy physics in that game,
yeah.
and one of the things I was thinking is because the only way I play that game is I use the spears and I throw stuff at people and they
Oh,
hate it. They hate me. So like I would just run around like a lunatic and just huck spears at people and hit people in the head. And the ragdoll effect, just I love the physic ragdoll effect
yeah,
when you'd hit somebody. And oh my God, they do such a good job with sound because it's so satisfying the noise that you hear when you hit
yeah,
somebody in the head with the spear. And it's just, I mean, it makes you feel like a psychopath, but it's just like when you hear that little like kind of squishy thump is the best way that I
yeah.
could put it. You just kind of like, oh, that felt good. Okay. And you just
Yeah, you have
but
that feedback there. I mean, that's what makes the games fun is you have the immediate feedback of your actions. So that's where the
Mhm.
immersion is. And as you said, the
Yeah.
physics stuff, I think that's why GTA is also so fun. Like you can drive over the people and then you have the
Yeah.
ragdoll effect and it adds like this immersion because it's something you would expect. It's not
Mhm.
if they would just flat fall like that, it would be boring. So you have this expectation check mark. So okay, I hit it with this
Yeah.
big car with momentum and tons of
Yeah.
weight, and then they fly around, and this is what you would expect. And the funny thing with the spear, I was also thinking of adding a spear gun,
Ooh,
long
like a
range. I don't know if the Mikado chocolate sticks, you know the Mikado chocolate sticks, are they?
yeah.
Yeah, this could be
It
like
could be
a
yeah,
sharp
or like
spear. Yeah.
candy cane or something too. You know, when you sit there and you suck on a candy cane too long and you kind of turn into freaking
Yeah. And
um
marshmallow boxing gloves, for
there you go. Yes. This is why, and that's why I think why I liked your game and why obviously I wanted to have you on. I'm like, I feel like your creativity can just go absolutely wild with the things that you can make for this game. I mean, like I said, taking that real aspect of making like you're like candy. It's a candy world. Okay, cool. Well, now everything is candy, and so like you have an entire you ba- you've confined yourself in a good way to say anything I make needs to be somehow candy related.
yeah,
Okay, well this is kind of cool. Now I can make like you were saying, like a licorice, an actual licorice whip, or like you were throwing these chocolate spears or something like those. Or it's just like you get to kind of play in this world, creating these fun things to kind of think about, and then putting them in the world and getting that type of feedback. I wanted to backtrack for a second when you're talking about that actual like feedback, that immediate
yeah.
feedback. It reminds me of I watched an interview with Gabe Newell,
Mm,
when he was
yeah,
making
I
he
think I
was
watched it too, yeah, yeah.
okay, so exactly what yeah, so he was talking exactly about what you were just talking about, which was just getting that feedback, and one of the issues that they were having was, you know, you not feeling like you can actually interact with the world, and how do you get that type of feeling and physical feedback when you do something? I'm actually in this world and I'm doing these things in this world.
Mm,
And that's kind of the thing that we were just talking about, which is like, I mean, it was an early principle when making Half-Life, and how they were trying to make that happen. Because you can take it, you can go back to like I mean, when you play Doom, like the original Doom, there is no like world feedback other than you just shooting the enemies in front of you.
I think
There's
the
no like
sound was great, and maybe the death animations, that was like a major part. That was your feedback. You obliterate those, and it was very grotesque at the time. You see like the guts spilling out.
right.
Yeah, not done very often. So that's where they stood out. And that was your feedback. You shoot them, you get a response, good sound effects, and then they drop dead with this high detailed pixel gut stuff, and that's
Right.
how you got the feedback back then. For that time was amazing. Yeah, but that's
And
it. The feedback, the interaction with the world. You interact with the world. Your actions have
mhm.
consequences.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted to touch on that again because I thought that was so important, and
Yeah,
it's really hard to find that balance too, where you don't feel like you're just a in a way when you're making it when you're making the game or you're coming up with this stuff is how do you make yourself not feel like an NPC in your own world? How
mm,
do you feel like you're actually a physical person or a physical participant and the things you do actually have physical consequences to your world that you're creating for them to for people to play in. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought that was interesting.
thank you. Yeah, yeah. Let's see where it goes. I think so too, and others as well. So yeah, but it has potential. That's the thing.
Yeah, fun too. So yeah, you got to get it to me because I want to play it.
Yeah,
And I'll give
yeah.
you the
Well, the prototype was playable. I will. I'm still polishing some stuff, and soon, maybe a month or so, I want to do some open testing,
Mhm.
collecting some feedback. Not I
Yeah.
don't want to do it too early, where it's maybe a bit unstable, too buggy, and then getting like negative impressions. On the fair, it worked really well because it's also fast paced, and now the people play it really fast. And
Oh,
but if
yeah.
you sit down at home, maybe you see a little bit more issues,
Mhm.
especially in the maybe the loops as well, where the start to finish is where the upgrades
Mhm.
are. But it could also work better. So I want to polish that. But yeah, soon, about a month-ish, I think I will do some live prototype release on itch, maybe also on Steam with the open beta testing.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's a really cool world. I think it's a really cool concept. I mean, yeah, obviously we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's rad. So I want to go back and just talk about a little bit about your background as far as working in Unity, but what like we're all more or less working on our own projects for free. So how are you what do you do in your full time to support yourself to work on this project?
Well, I was working for about 8 years at a company where we made serious games, so B2B games for fairs and
Mhm.
Android apps, so software development in many areas. So that's where I got the budget from, the finance from. And
Mm,
since I wanted to join the games industry, like full industry, not just serious games and like game related or similar stuff, I now gave myself a budget, a time of about 1.5 to max 2 years, where I just
mm,
wanted to reach for the stars or just build a portfolio to join the industry if everything fails. So this is more like a shift approach. So now I am full, but I started to work on the project 6 months prior. So on weekends and maybe on the evenings, but I realized it's not going anywhere or too slow or too much context switching, and the focus is not there,
mm,
and I was doing very little steps and steps back again. That's why I think also my previous game Snowman didn't do really well because I s- quickly stitched stuff together, and yeah, it was my focus wasn't there, and I didn't want to do the same mistake with this game. That's why, yeah, it's now self-financed for a fixed period of time, and if that runs out, I just go back to maybe the games industry itself. If that fails, the regular software jobs again. So that's yeah.
is there a chance that you might end up just self-publishing this depending if things don't quite pan out with publishers and kind of maybe being like, maybe I can kind of do this myself and get my own edition, may see if there's volunteer in a way of
Yeah.
people to do modeling, sound, etc. Some of those key aspects that you're missing.
Yeah, it's if that doesn't work out, I plan to finish up the demo as fast as possible in a good state and leave it out there in the open and try to find other ways to finance it. But yeah, I don't want to bury it completely if everything fails. I want to have something out there. So at least the prototype, at best the demo, where people can play it, can feel it, see if they want more or not.
Yeah.
So it's not a complete waste or also of the potential, right? So something has to be put out there. I don't want to just abandon the project and just leave like a coming soon page with nothing. So if in this 1 to 2 years nothing pans out, there will be a demo at least, and I probably work on it on the side. But then again, on the side, not much can be achieved. It's very slow, and I probably have to slim it down and maybe do like a $5 or $10 game out of it then for the final product. Then it's something small, but at least something, right?
Yeah.
So this is like a backup, like a list of backups, right? So if that fails,
Right.
then this, then this, then this, and then
Right. Yeah. That was one of always like in my younger years, one of the thing my younger years, God, make me sound like I'm ancient. I'm not that old.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, one of my biggest issues, I've had a lot of projects that I've tried to work on, and several apps. I've tried to write a show. I've tried to do a lot of different things. And when I was younger, as progress would start to slow down or things or life would happen or I'd have to redirect focus or whatever would happen, basically I'd have so many unfinished projects in
Mm.
my life that was so frustrating. And
Yeah.
I finally got to a point where I got too frustrated where I'm like, I'm gonna start finishing these things. And it's been rewarding. There was it's so silly, but like I got really into like the Fortnite creative stuff really, really early on, and it was kind of silly, but like I really wanted to make a. Did you ever play the game Conker's Bad Fur Day? Did you ever play that game?
I don't
It was
think so.
on the it was on the Nintendo 64, and it's really crude. It's you play this squirrel, and it's really like it's a platformer. It's really crude and over the top. Anyway, uh, there was this one multiplayer map that they had that I remember playing with my brothers and siblings and friends or whatever that was so ridiculous. It was called Beach, and basically people had to run up the beach, and you just shot the people as they would run up the beach, and it was just silly. And I really, really wanted to make like a redo of that type of game mode. And I started making it, and I never quite finished it. But then I was like, I got to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna see what I can do. And after finishing it, I realized I was like, it didn't take off. It wasn't super successful. But I was like, once I finished it, I just felt like even though it wasn't quote unquote successful in any type of marketed way, it felt so rewarding to just get over that hurdle.
Yeah.
It felt so good to just like make it past the finish line and say, you know what? I'm good with what came out. I'm good with how it ended.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for anybody that like ends up listening to this is just like, no matter what you do, finish it. Even
Yeah.
if it's not even if it's not this grandiose dream of a success that you wanted it to
Yeah.
be, just look at marathon runners. I mean, the very last person to cross that line, I guarantee you can be 100% accomplished for what they were able to achieve going through the marathon. Even though you're the last one, who cares? At least you crossed the line, and now you can move forward and be like, okay, cool. Maybe this time you can always look back and say, well, at least I completed it. Well, where can I improve? And and then you can also show others like, well, at least I completed this project. The next time I'm going to complete this project, and I want it to be this X much better, or I want to achieve this set of better goals. You always kind of can look back and say, okay, let's be objective on where we went and what I can do better, and finish the projects. It just, you feel so much better once you cross that finish line,
Yeah.
even though if it doesn't come off to be some sort of grandiose success, just finishing the project is such a good, God, you'll feel so much better.
I completely agree. That's what kind of happened with my first game as well, Snowman. So I saw okay, it's not getting much traction. The interest is not so high. I see like a big comparison right now to Rogue Candy and to my previous project, Thunder Islands, which had like the biggest potential. And Snowman had like almost none, like marketing wise. But I still finished it from start to end. And even though I expected not much and I saw that not much was coming from it, it was a great relief to have put something out there and just finish it, to have like also for the portfolio and for yourself, like you started something, you finish it like a marathon. It's making games and software is like a marathon.
It is 100% a marathon.
It starts
100%.
It starts with a huge hype, right? You are so excited for the project, and then later you have to do tasks you don't like, and you get used to it, and it maybe gets a little bit boring and exhausting. Even though it's like a great project, but it's this honeymoon phase is over, and you have to keep pushing. And it's great if you finish it, and maybe you scale down project. Sometimes you have great ideas, you have to prioritize and maybe leave stuff behind just to get further. Definitely agree. And don't have like those high expectations. This will be like the multi-million-dollar hit. It's also not healthy if you go in with that expectation and nothing comes out of it. It's better to be like humble and put it out there with no expectations. Like with the Baltic Games Fest, I went in there and I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know what was going to happen. Just wanted to be there and see and observe and let's see what was coming. And I think that's a good approach. Maybe a bit different if you have a team, like you have 5 people, you have to be a bit more serious because you kind of depend on this finance, and you have to maybe look at experience, other stuff. So I don't know how you handle it, but you have more dependency and responsibility in your team.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends, I guess. So we have about it's about 5 of us, and of disclosure, there was a game. So I got brought into this project. I mean, it's still super early when I got on the project, but beforehand, it's one of my best friends. Him and a couple of my friends, they were trying to make a previous game, and I'm not getting into the super details, but things didn't quite go out the way they wanted it to go. So they started on this new idea. Generally, they were just more excited about this city. They thought it was a much better idea, even marketing wise and just the gameplay wise. Everything about this new idea was just better. And so what happened was, I mean, they're fully committed. I mean, we're all super committed into this project. And the way we're positioning the project itself is it's not like we're probably going super hard mode on this. It's going to be a free game, and it's going to be why can't I think of the word, with microtransactions, but we're not going to be like, not trying to be scummy. We have to pay for the game. We have to pay to create content. And so we're doing, okay, you can buy visuals and things like that. And that's all we're doing. All gameplay is completely free to play. And we're looking at it at a very long-term, this is going to sound really pretentious or really, okay, buddy, but like like a League of Legends type of thing, where it's like, early on, League of Legends was like, no, it wasn't a big community. Very few people played it, but it's like over time, it's become this behemoth. You know what I mean? It's become this gigantic thing. And so like, we're looking at it as very much a long game, a long man game. Like have tons of iterations, tons of content, tons of things that we want to implement in the game. And we're going to take it at a very long-term play, keep it free to play, and then hopefully just those visual things that we do sell can keep the game basically paying for itself. Like none of us are really looking at it as like, early on, especially within probably the first few 2 to 3 years, to make any serious money off of it.
Okay.
We're very much looking at it as like, we want players and people to be playing it and get invested in having fun playing our game. And that will keep us wanting to continue to make it. And so luckily I don't know. We all have our own like financial goals, but ultimately we want this to financially take care of us as well. But I think we are also realistic. It's our first game. It's our first push out there, and we believe more in the project. Now we can put it out there and everyone hates the game. And then at that point we might have to pivot. But that's kind of the approach we're
Having it
taking.
out
I don't know.
early is the best approach. And if you have like a playable beta prototype, whatever, it's the best thing. Maybe a small also convention in your local area. That's a good experience, I can tell you.
I've actually been thinking about that recently. Is like, man, I should go, because out here in the States we have like internet cafes and stuff like that, where people can like go in and just play video games. I've been recently thinking, I'm like, what's stopping me from just going in there, talking to the owner and be like, hey man, can I have like a sponsored event or something like that where people can come and play my game? Because it's multiplayer. It's a multiplayer online type of game. So I'm like, have people come in and just like goof off and play your game. A, I can film the whole event and make it a piece of marketing.
Yeah.
B, I can get actual feedback from people on the ground that actually play video games right off the bat. And so like, yeah, I thought of it. And I think I might try and do something more pointed, like actually really try and push the thing. We have a demo coming out this month, I believe. At the end of the month, the demo is going to be out. And then we're also going to be pushing play tests out as well, where since it's multiplayer, the demo you can only play with like bots and stuff, and then the play test is where you can actually play against other players and stuff. So that's kind of the way we're working it out, just to kind of keep things confined. But yeah, man, we're excited. I mean, I think you should be excited very much for, obviously, I don't want to go off on a tangent talking about my game. That's not what this is about, but
it's completely fine. Completely fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're excited. It is a process. There's 5 of us, and we all kind of know we understand the logistics numbers behind indie games.
Yeah.
We understand that, it's not gonna be just like you put it out there and all of a sudden you're a millionaire. No. And that's just not how it works.
Do you have
some
kind of publisher or investor for your game that maybe just
No, we're everything ourselves. We're doing everything ourselves. And that's not for any particular. I mean, I maybe it's a little arrogance, and maybe that's the American in me.
I think I think every indie developer has this, right? This little a bit too much ego where you think, okay, let's
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I definitely won't. Yeah, and I definitely won't argue with that at all. I think it is a little bit of like no, I think we can do this. Oh, we may be very humbled. We may be very, very humbled. But hey,
and that's life. When you need to take the chances, right? So everyone can sit at get a office job and then just waste away time. It's risky. It has its downsides, of course, but if it's
nothing risk, nothing gained.
If you burn for it, if it's your passion, I mean, just try it out reasonably, like not until your last penny, but like within a confined area, try it out, give it a best shot, and then at least you can check the bucket list. I've did this, I've tried that, and if it works, great. If not, it's not the worst thing.
At the end of the day, even if we fail, we definitely are going to learn something.
Yeah.
We can go back and be like, well, that failed. Let's find out why. You know what I mean?
And on the way, you met like nice people, nice devs who have awesome talks.
Exactly. It's like, there's always like, I've used this analogy before with some other people I've talked to. Is like, I can show you the scroll of tome of failures in my life, and then I'll hold up like a post-it note of like my 3 items or whatever of successes. And it's like, I mean, I'm very entrepreneurial, so it's like, I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid of falling on my face, because every time that I've done that, I've learned something probably very valuable in the end. I've ended up being like, oh, okay, so this is where I went wrong. And I've also used this analogy before, but it's very much like working out. You don't really grow until you fail. You don't grow until you've pushed yourself to the limit, and your body now has to come up with a response that says, oh, this is what we're doing now. Okay, well then I need to get stronger, or I need to do this more. I need to increase your cardio, or whatever the fact it is. You don't grow as a person, in my opinion, until you've really gone through these things that are going to require you to grow or level up or things like that, or learn from an experience. And so like I said, if we fail, I'm going to learn something. And like you just said, I'm meeting a lot of cool people. This entire show was birthed out of, man, I want to figure out a way to work around also promoting myself in my game, but also I know there's a lot of cool devs out there that are making super cool projects that I would love to pick their brain in a way, figure out where they came from, their tool. And that's kind of the thing about it. And so man, it's all good. Even if you fail, you're gonna learn something, and it's gonna be fun. I mean, it won't be cannot be fun, but you'll at least be able to look back at it and be like, okay, I can see where things went right and where things went wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Just take the road and see where it leads, right?
Life's a journey, man.
Yeah.
It really is. It has its ups and downs, and I've had my shares of downs and my shares of ups, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, I didn't really, we just started going. I didn't really give you a chance to introduce your game, but it's all right. I think the way I'll edit it is I'll have some cool stuff in the beginning when we're sitting there talking about your game, and I'll bring up your Steam page and I'll edit it in a way so that people up front in the beginning of the episode at least can see your game. And that's, I don't know, this is just kind of the format, man. We just hang out and we talk about your stuff, and if it goes, it goes. If we get close to an intro, or I don't know, I had fun talking at least.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think I at first when I looked at this list you sent, and I'm more of a preparey guy. I always need to have a plan. So I answered every point, and I thought, okay, how is it going to be? Will you ask me like this question 1, then question 2, right? In this certain order. But then it kind of solved itself, right? We talked about basically every topic in a fluent way and didn't feel stressed out or so. So it was,
I very
nice.
much try to freeform it. Yeah, I try to freeform it. I have the only reason, and I've said this before to people when I've talked to them, like the only reason I put the questions up there is just in case I need to pull something if the conversation goes a little dry or things like that. But if we're just hanging out and talking, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not. It would be the same thing
if forcing something in.
No, yeah, exactly. It'd be the same thing if you and I were sitting down having coffee in like a coffee shop.
Yeah,
that's very much the vibe that I'm trying to go for. Is just like, obviously there's some things that I want to talk about, so I'll ask a question if I really want to dig into something. But in general, we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out, having coffee, and talking about video games and what it's like.
Oh, empty. Oh no, it's one last sip here.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I got my. I might get flamed for it. I don't care, or people might like it, but I got my Hero Academia cup. My brother got this for me, and I really liked it.
No,
it's seen some war.
But it's now empty as well, right? So you drank
What's that?
You drank it all up, or?
Oh yeah, it's all gone.
It's all.
Yeah, it's straight coffee. But anyway, man, what I'll do at least is like let's have a little bit of an outro. Tell people about your project, where they can find you, about your game, what you're looking for. Just kind of give like a full thing about who you are in your game and everything, and what they can find. And I'll give you some time to talk about that.
Yeah. So the game can now be found on Steam, at least the coming soon page. And I plan also to publish a itch.io page fully for the prototype. Probably connect those two, like itch to Steam and Steam open beta testing. That's kind of up to debate now, but that's like my main page where I maintain the game. As for marketing, posting stuff, I have an Instagram where people can just follow, join, and look at it, what I post there. Again, I'm not the great marketing guy. I'm focusing on development, but if you want to check out the site, Instagram and Steam, our main parts. Occasionally on Reddit as well, though there's not a dedicated page, but if you click on my account, you can also see what I have posted and commented and see where that goes. As for the project, I plan to release the prototype in about 1-2 months-ish. Oftentimes it takes longer, right? So, but at that point, maybe June, something June, July, there will be something playable for everyone. And yeah, you can shoot up candy and wobble around and see where this goes. Apart from that, what else was there to talk about?
I think that was really it. Yeah, just where people can find you, talk about your game. I'll have some stuff up where it shows your Steam page, and maybe if you want to send me your itch profile and stuff, I can have that up as well.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah.
there's currently just a snowman game, but yeah, I just send you. You can see if it fits or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the project itself, I think we talked about it also in detail already, right? So if I can say, like, Rogue Candy is 3D action roguelike shooter set in a candy-themed world where you fight against wobbly candy creatures and gather upgrades to match the difficulty. Because as you proceed, you enter different biomes. So you start in the gummy biome, then enter like a chocolate biome, later on a frosty, snowy with the snow sugar candy biome, and meet different candies and gather new weapons, upgrades to then defeat the final boss at the candy castle or factory and then end the run. Yeah, that's
Sweet.
basically the summary of it.
This was a
Thank
great
you.
conversation, and thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you coming on and just talking about it. It's exciting.
Thank
So
you for having
cool.
me.